I'm not ashamed to own my Lord, nor to defend his cause. Maintain the honors of his word, the glory of his cross.
Hello, I'm James Brown, and on behalf of the Eastern Church of Christ located in Toronto, Canada, I'd like to welcome you to today's edition of Walking Through the Bible, a podcast where we seek to study the Bible and the Bible alone. Please stick around afterwards for information on how you can contact us. But for now, please go to the book of Genesis, and we'll turn you over to Jeremy Disocam for our study of the day.
Thank you, James, and welcome to all of our viewers. This is the 163rd lesson in our study of Genesis. Yesterday we covered Genesis chapter 48, verses 1 to 7, discussing how Joseph, through his two sons, received the birthright. If you missed that episode and would like to watch it, you can find it and all of our other podcasts on our website at www.easternchurch.org. You can also find them on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/EastEndChurchOfChrist under the Walking Through the Bible Genesis playlist. Today we're going to begin with Genesis chapter 48, verse 8, and read through verse 16. The text that you'll see on the screen is from the English Standard Version, but you're welcome to follow along with any version that you have. So let's now read Genesis 48, beginning at verse 8. When Israel saw Joseph's sons, he said, "Who are these?" Joseph said to his fathers, "They are my sons, whom God has given me here." And he said, "Bring them to me, please, that I may bless them." Now the eyes of Israel were dim with age, so that he could not see. So Joseph brought them near him, and he kissed them and embraced them. And Israel said to Joseph, "I never expected to see your face, and behold, God has let me see your offspring also." Then Joseph removed them from his knees, and he bowed himself with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand towards Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand towards Israel's right hand, and brought them near him. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it on the head of Ephraim, who was the younger, and his left hand on the head of Manasseh, crossing his hands, for Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph and said, "The God before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac walked, the God who has been my shepherd all my life long to this day, the angel who has redeemed me from all evil, bless the boys. And in them let my name be carried on, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth." In the last episode, we had Joseph visiting his sick father Jacob and bringing his two sons Ephraim and Manasseh with him. Jacob told Joseph that he would be considering Ephraim and Manasseh as his two sons, and that Joseph would be receiving a double inheritance in the land through his two sons. This brings us down to verse 8. The verse says that Jacob saw Joseph's sons and asked Joseph who they were. Why did Jacob ask this? Because the passage says that, like his father Isaac, Jacob's eyesight was gone so that he could not see. Joseph says that they are Ephraim and Manasseh, Jacob's grandsons. Jacob instructs Joseph to bring them to him so that he may bless them. Now let's not confuse this blessing with the blessing of headship, for that will be given out in chapter 49 to Judah. Jacob told Joseph that he had not expected to see his face again once he thought that he had been killed, and here God has allowed him to see Joseph's children. This is quite a blessing that God had bestowed on Jacob, for Jacob could have died many years earlier had God so chosen. So now Joseph brought his two sons towards Jacob to be blessed. The way that Joseph brought the children to Jacob is important. Manasseh was brought to Jacob on Joseph's left towards Jacob's right hand, while Ephraim was brought to Jacob on Joseph's right towards Jacob's left hand. We might look at this and say, well, what's the difference? Both of these sons were to be blessed at the same time, and as was custom, the blessing that would be given through the right hand was to denote a higher blessing. Since Manasseh is the oldest of Joseph's two sons, Joseph felt that Manasseh should be blessed with the greater blessing. However, Jacob doesn't do as Joseph expected, for Jacob crosses his hands and places his right hand on Ephraim's head and his left hand on Manasseh's head. He then proceeds to bless Joseph through blessing Joseph's two sons. He begins his blessing by invoking the name of God, Elohim, the supreme God of the universe. He identifies this God as the God before whom Abraham and Isaac walked, and the God who had shepherded him all throughout his life, and the one who redeemed him from evil. It is by calling on the name of this all-powerful, all-benevolent God that Jacob blesses Joseph's two sons. Jacob refers to God as the angel in this passage, but remember that angel simply means messenger. God is the messenger who provided him with the knowledge of his redemption from evil, because God is the one who provides redemption. That's all Jacob is saying, so let's not get confused by that. In the blessing, Jacob says that it will be Joseph's two sons who will carry on Jacob's name and will become great. We'll finish this story, the Lord willing, tomorrow. With that, our time is up for today. Please join us, the Lord willing, tomorrow when we will continue our study of Genesis, beginning with Genesis 48:17.
Thank you, Jeremy. And to our viewers, we also thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Should you have a question or comment, please leave them below or email them to answerintheword@gmail.com. We'll try to respond to you as quickly as we can. We hope you'll join us, the Lord willing, tomorrow when we will be continuing on our study of the book of Genesis. Goodbye for now and have a great day.
I'm not ashamed to own my Lord.